Welcome to episode 76.
Hey, y'all.
We're back after our week of, my vacation and Becca's life.
That's right.
So,
Listen, we got out of town for the weekend, but
there you go.
it was
See?
not near as
Same
tropical
difference.
as yours.
Yeah, same difference. Basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, we're back. It's episode 76. Has not been as much going on, I would say, in the like.
It's off season of literally everything. TV, sports.
Yeah.
It's all been quiet.
And I feel
Maybe
like
that's probably.
yeah. I have had this. I found myself this week. So where we were on vacation, my internet was spotty at best,
Uh,
and so I was like trying to check Twitter all the time, as I do, and I was like, "Did this happen or not really?" And it just, I'm really getting annoyed with the people that are like posting the fake news and the AI pictures. Y'all, here's the thing:
so annoying,
those AI pictures are so obvious. I can't figure out how some of you are falling for them.
right? It's like when old people fall for the telephone scams of like, oh, you need my social and my bank account. Here you go.
Yeah,
Come on.
it's terrible. Like, I feel like I could do better with Canva than what these people are getting paid to do. But so there was just like a lot of things that I was like, well, when I was making the show notes, I was like, I mean, I could put that in there, and you know, I mean, there's been some weird things that have happened, but as far as our usual kickoff with the legalese, let's see. Since our last recording, keep me honest here, Brian Koberger has
He pled guilty.
pled guilty, right? Yeah, I was like, I don't know. But now, does this mean now it does mean he won't face the death penalty now, right?
You know what? Looking at our notes, I don't know that we recorded since he pled.
See, I don't think we did. I think it was I actually think we recorded and then he did that afternoon.
Yeah. Yes. So Brian Koberger has taken a plea deal. He has pled guilty to all 5 counts. There was 4 murders.
This is the Idaho murders, if you are behind the times.
Yeah. 4 murders and 1 robbery. Something going into the house. I can't think of the word. But anyway, so he's pled guilty. He will get life in prison. All appeals processes have been taken away. He cannot appeal anything ever, even if the laws change in the future. That was one of the big things that they had put in there with it. But he will not get the death penalty. To me, this seems like the best deal you could have gotten. Number one, you never know how a court proceeding is going to go. Even if he's guilty, if something goes awry, like they could toss the case, you could be going to trial a second time if there's like you just never know. A lot of the victims' families had been subpoenaed to testify. That's a lot of kids that have to testify about their siblings passing. That's a lot of friends that have to testify. So that's also taken into consideration. But also, if he were to be convicted and then he were to get the death penalty, you're looking at decades of appeals and still going back into court. Like, to me, the family never gets to close the chapter and actually grieve it and be done. So I felt like, obviously, I don't have a dog in this fight. Like, it's not my grieving process, but there were several of the families that, I say several, I believe 3 of the families were happy with this and they felt this was the best outcome. There's one family that is very outspoken and they are very angry about it. And listen, I get it. Like, you've lost a family member and you feel like you were cheated out. So I can't even fathom the emotions. But of course, obviously, like, you're angry. You just want to be angry at somebody. So I get that. But he has pled. Sentencing, I want to say, is the 29th of July.
Okay, that's pretty close.
So they had already closed down the court because of all of the people that were going to be in for the trial. And so they wanted to utilize the time that it was closed, but they also needed to give families time for everybody to fly in because there will probably be a lot of victim impact statements that are read. So,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can't never, I hope ever, put myself in their shoes. So, yeah, I mean, if they had put him to death, if they had not, the problem in America, too, when you get put on death row, Lord, you can sit on, depending on what state you're in, you can sit on death row for your whole life.
Right.
So I mean, it's
Right.
not like we're like, boom, you're gone.
Yeah.
So I've
Well,
never
and I think a
understood
lot
that
of
either.
people also thought that they would get maybe an explanation, a reason why
That's what I was
he
gonna
was
say.
away.
Yeah.
You're not going to get that during the
Nope.
trial. He wasn't going to testify. That's not going to come out.
No.
So even if you had gone to trial, you're never going to get the answers that you absolutely deserve.
I
So,
saw an article that was a statement, I guess. I don't know if it was an official statement or just an answer to a question from one of his attorneys saying that they did not believe that there would ever be an explanation given.
yeah.
And again, nothing about that. No punishment, explanation, none of that's bringing anybody back. So,
Right. Right.
I mean, yeah, I have no idea. Probably not the way we're supposed to be as Christians, but I am very much eye for an eye on things. And so,
I'd
um,
be really interested to hear from his parents. Did you know
yeah.
either knew that he was a psychopath? Did this
Well, he didn't
surprise
look
you?
right. He looked like something was off.
But then my other question is, has he always been that way? Or did this progress like over his years of graduate school where he's literally studying all of these killers? But like
Yeah.
for him to stand there and they were like, are you saying that you're guilty because you did it? Yes. And then they went through every single count one by one, and the only response he gave was yes.
Yeah.
No emotion. Like it was just so cool. Like you're answering the questions to a robotic telephone call. Like
Yeah.
just
Something is definitely
wild.
off. I mean, but you see those arguments all the time too. Well, are they mentally, what is it, like mentally able to stand trial or
Like
whatever?
competent.
I mean, you got to be some touch of crazy to kill somebody anyway. So, like,
Right.
to me, unless you like are truly like, I don't know, like have Down syndrome or something, like
Right.
that question's out the window to me.
Listen, you knew exactly what you were doing,
Yep.
especially when they have proof of you trying to cover your tracks with your purchase history and all of that. You knew. You
Yeah,
had
I just don't buy all that crap.
so, but yeah. So we'll have sentencing, and then that one predominantly should be done. I assume we'll probably get some interviews after the fact. More families might come out and do. Some
Yeah,
of them have.
I was gonna say I've seen one family. They were one of the ones that was okay with it, but I have seen the statements from the family that's definitely not okay with it. Which
Yeah.
I think they all have the right to feel however they want to feel.
Absolutely.
Because again, at the end of the day, you're not bringing your kid back. So yeah, that's happened. Have now I'm losing track of the timeline here. Did we
I know.
record after Diddy's, or was it the actual day of?
So we recorded.
Sometimes I feel like it was actually the day of, but I don't know if it's
Okay. We recorded when the jury started deliberating.
okay. So
So we hadn't even talked about that. You
I know,
guys.
we thought we had nothing to talk about today. So tell the folks all the news, Becca,
Yeah,
as
so
as our legal expert.
listen, when the FBI came and raided, obviously they're not going to make a big fuss unless they knew that they had stuff there. And then it was months before we heard anything, if not a year. I don't even remember how long.
I think it was a year.
And he had been arrested that whole time.
Yeah.
So anyway, they take him to trial, and of course we're all hearing in the media like they have a 94% close rate. Like, of course they're going to get him. I think he had 4 charges against him, 4 or 5. He only got found guilty on 1, and it was the lesser charge of all of them. So not guilty on trafficking, not guilty on the RICO charge, but he was guilty on, I can't remember
Was
which
it
one it was.
prostitution?
Prostitution. That was it. So now potentially that could still carry like a 20-year prison sentence. I don't know what they'll go for. I did find it interesting. Obviously, his family thinks it's a win, and honestly, it is because the other charges carried life sentences.
Yeah.
So very interesting. But you and I talked several times, like maybe we don't fully understand these charges, but it doesn't feel like the prosecution is proving anything in this case. You're just proving domestic violence.
I really feel like the prosecution dropped the ball. And listen, I'm not a conspiracy. I say I'm not a conspiracy theorist. But there are some. We dabble. There are some things that I possibly.
Yeah.
I do have to think that there's something in this. Maybe he turned over some evidence. Maybe he said some things, told on some people. I don't know. I just truly believe that there was something that happened because we didn't even really get the like testimonies and the questions that
I
should have been asked. And
Well,
there
and they
was
were talking about how all of these celebrities were going to be implicated as well, and it just came out that a bunch of them were there, as you do in Hollywood as a
we already
celebrity.
knew they were there.
But that
Like,
doesn't mean that they partook in anything or that you have
yeah.
proof of it.
So I guess I'm interested to see kind of the fallout going forward. Does anything come of this for other
Yeah.
people? I don't know. So what I've been reading is it sounds like they were thinking somewhere from like I've seen anywhere from like 2 to 7 years.
Okay.
I don't know which again in
Which I would
celebrity
assume
world.
they would have to count as time served. He's almost been in
Yeah.
prison 2 years at this point,
Yeah.
right?
So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I don't know what becomes of Diddy when he's out. I don't know. I mean,
I don't know. But
um,
his sentencing is not until October, which
I
I
see, and I
know
thought
that
that was weird.
I thought that was real weird, and I'm not quite sure. And it
Makes
could have been like,
again makes me wonder why.
yeah, it could have been like the court didn't have any openings until then, or the
We
court,
couldn't squeeze one in. Like,
right? But I do know he had asked, his attorneys had asked for him to get bail so
yeah,
that he could be released during the time between the trial and sentencing, and that was denied. Um, Obviously, like,
he's
you
a
have
flight
access to
risk.
private jets, you're a
Yeah.
flight risk, but also I guess he had done some domestic violence or something in the beginning, and so they were like, we've proven that you can't not harm females when you're out. So
Yeah. I don't know. I think it'll be interesting between now and October, and then kind of post that. If anything else kind of comes of this, I
right.
think once he does his first sit down interview, is going to be epic.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have had, I didn't even put this in the notes, we've had another, some, I don't know, is this just an accusation or have we had charges filed involving Tyler Perry?
I think right now it's just been an accusation because I think he's being sued. So
Okay.
that would be civil court. So that's
Yeah.
just a
So
monetary thing.
Tyler Perry's being sued for some apparent,
Sexual
sexual
inappropriateness.
with a gentleman. I don't know. So we'll see. I don't know. I've always kind of had a weird vibe about him. Not passing judgment.
Anybody associated with Oprah that closely, I'm
We're
questioning.
worried about y'all. Yeah. I will say Oprah, it appears Oprah, Gail, and Kris Jenner, the three of them are on some little cruise together
All
around
buds.
yeah, Amalfi Coast right now, which I gotta tell you, that doesn't prove good for any of them.
No.
So, that's happening. So, and the latest on the Blake Lively,
Girl.
so first of all, I don't even want to tell you this because I didn't end up texting you this, right? About what
I don't
happened in
think
St.
so.
Lucia. Okay. So we were in St. Lucia on vacation. And I did not text Becca this on purpose. Um, so in St. Lucia they have a beer called the Patone, which is the same as they call the mountains there are the Patone Mountains.
Okay.
So there were several people, several different times that we would see kind of herds of people gather around them. Saw them taking pictures, taking autographs, or giving autographs, stuff like that. There were a couple people I wasn't sure who they were. There was one everyone was telling us was Joe Jonas. I sent Becca the picture. I didn't think it was him,
I didn't think it was him.
but I will say he had a lot of security and he gave a lot of autographs and pictures. So I don't know who he was.
Interesting.
So the thing that I have not told Becca and Aaron, what he is so anxious to hear what you respond with. So we were kind of in like a little ritzier part. It's hard to say ritzy in St. Lucia, but there was this guy, and I said, "Oh my gosh, that looks like Justin Baldoni." He's like, "Oh yeah, sure, whatever." Well, so we had gotten to know this girl, Anika, that works at the resort. You just become friends with everybody when you're from the
Right.
South. So I know all about her. Anyway, so I'm like, oh god, that guy looks like this famous guy. And she goes, oh, and gives me a weird look, and I was like, yeah, there's this case back in the U.S. because they don't know a lot of what's happening here.
Oh,
I honestly, like, there's no news,
yeah.
so they don't really care. And I said, yeah, there's this actress, Blake Lively, and she just kind of started smiling, and I was like, oh, do you know who that is? And she was like, sort of, and I was like, okay. And I was like, yeah. And so she made this movie, and she accused this guy, and he's this actor, but like really nobody's really heard of him. She was like, oh, and just smiled. And I was like, yeah, his name's Justin Baldoni. She was like, yeah, I know who that is. And I was like, oh, okay.
Oh,
So I turned around to Aaron, and I was like, I think that really is Justin Baldoni. And he was like, shut up. But we had been seeing a lot of people, several people, not a lot,
yeah.
several. And I was like, and there were a couple that I even sent you, and I was like, is this so and so? And then we would
Uh-huh.
find out later it really was them.
Yep.
So I did. There were people taking pictures with this guy, but I didn't think anything of it. So very last day, we're checking out. We see Anika, and so I'm telling her bye and thank you for taking. She was a lot. She did a lot with the kids stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, just tell me, because you would ask that, like you could, like I did ask her, is that Joe Jonas? And she could. She just smiled. She wouldn't say anything.
Yeah.
Half the time I didn't know if she knew what I was saying because they speak Creole,
That's
so
fair.
I'm like, whatever. I said, just tell me, was that Justin Baldoni? She was like, regular.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to tell you about Justin Baldoni. He's living just fine. That's
Right.
all I can say.
He's not hurt.
So apparently he was there. And so, of course, I get on and I'm trying to like stalk him through Perez and stuff because
Yeah.
he has been in a lot of islands throughout this whole
Yes,
ordeal.
there have been several
Again,
pictures.
I don't understand how he has money. I don't know, but he does. So anyway, I didn't even tell Becca because I told Aaron, I said, I can't tell Becca this without telling her face to face. And he was like, you have to text her. Y'all talk about this all the time. I was like, I can't. I said, especially after the Joe Jonas incident, but I do actually think it potentially was Joe Jonas. I don't really know. If not, he was a really good impersonator. I'm telling you,
there you
it
go.
looked just like him. Like the weird, like
I'm
thick
gonna tell you
mustache.
guys, if you ever want to see celebrities, go on a vacation with Mandy.
Yeah, we
You
did.
could literally be going to the most random spot. She's gonna find celebrities. They're
Well,
just
but it's weird. A lot of times, like for instance, I texted Becca. I'm in the airport, whipping up the phone. And I'm taking a picture of this guy, and I said, "Hey, does this look like Bob Stoops to you?" Here's the thing: I can't send that to just everyone.
No,
You know,
you
like,
can't.
Becca's gonna know though. She goes, "Well, it sure does." I mean, we just asked the dude. Like, we were like, "You Bob Stoops?" Like, we didn't even care because they're just like, "You're just in line." He also was on our flight of debacleness, so
Oh, gosh.
he switched to Delta though. He was able to afford a different flight.
Listen, good on you, Stoops.
Good on you, Stoops. You can't coach worth of crap, but okay. But anyway, so that's my story about Justin Baldoni. I have no firm confirmation, but from
Seems
what
like
Anika
it.
gave me, I'm pretty sure it was him.
Yeah.
The woman that was with him very much looked like his wife. He definitely was trying to go incognito, and the women or the people taking pictures with him were our age and older.
Okay.
And I was like, those are the people who would know who Justin Baldoni is.
Yeah.
Because I said to Judd, that's Justin Baldoni. And he was like, who?
Okay, good.
Anyway, so Blake Lively update.
The deposition's supposed to be this Thursday, I believe. Now, of course,
He's coming.
Blake Lively is doing Blake and trying to control everything because she's a garbage human being who doesn't like authority or following rules. So she is now complaining that she can't go to his lawyer's office because of the paparazzi. Ma'am, your lawyer is a mile away. Nobody gives two.
And y'all, it's New York City. And if you've not been, like,
Right?
I mean, first of all, there's paparazzi everywhere in New York City on every corner.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, she and Ryan, because of the way our lives have gone, when we've been to New York, we see them walking around just like I would pass Becca on the streets of Tyler, Texas. Like, they walk everywhere with security, sure. But
And the fact that she's making such a big deal about this, because now when she has to go to his lawyer's office and there are paparazzi because you alerted them,
yeah, you told
now you're going
everybody.
to be like, see, I told you. Ma'am, they're not going to be in the room.
Yeah,
Ah,
I don't know. I can't wait to see what she wears because you know it's going to be something.
it's probably going to look ridiculous.
No, I feel like it's going to be what you know how she pulls off a suit well, like
She
a men's
does.
suit. That's a great look on her. I feel like
Ever
she's going
since
to
it ends with us, I feel like she's tried to go eclectic hippie, and I don't. It's weird.
Yeah, that was a weird vibe. No, so that's allegedly happening Thursday. We'll see. One thing I've been a little worried about, I'm not going to lie to you. And I was a little concerned because I honestly could not get on TikTok until we got back to Charlotte last night. So the whole time I was gone, I couldn't get on TikTok. But what I was seeing on Twitter was that a lot of folks, just like Becca and I, that have podcasts that have mentioned this, were getting letters from Blake Lively's attorneys.
Yeah.
They were getting them via their TikToks. So I'm going to be honest with you, I was really concerned that I was going to land and open my TikTok and we were going to have a letter from them. We have not received anything, but I mean,
we balance it well. I don't like her, and you've still stayed like.
Listen.
You're neutral.
My best case scenario at this point, we got a question, y'all. I know y'all send questions every week about it, and I try to at least kind of give you where I'm at emotionally with it. Emotionally, I'm still damaged.
Right. You're still processing it. That's okay.
My best case scenario at this point is we settle. This just goes away. I feel like we're probably closer to settling than I think we were originally, but I don't really know. I think there's going to have to be
how the deposition goes.
I think there's going to have to be some compensation, probably, or maybe they'll call it good. Like, you owe me this, I owe you this. We'll call it good.
True.
But for me, I've stepped away from I've left the legal workings to Becca, and I'm just in the emotional side with Taylor, and it's just.
That's fair.
I'm grieving, and so.
But I also think with this case, like in the beginning, all eyes are on it. But then it's just gone on, and it's like now she's saying this, and now he's saying this, and now they're asking for this, and his team is asking for that. Like, we're over it.
Yeah.
Both of you look like buffoons.
You really do. I mean, and I don't even know that we've addressed the fact that he dropped his $400 million lawsuit against her, and I think that was the closest step towards, hey, let's just get in this mess. And they took that as a win. Ryan and Blake took it as a win. I don't take that as a win. I take it. I honestly, from the very beginning, have said I don't understand where this dude's getting money. I really think his legal parts of this are being carried by Wayfarer, the production company,
his studio,
because they're implicated a lot too. But we don't know what's going to happen. So maybe by next week's episode, she will have given her deposition. I guess legally, technically, we should know what she says. But we'll know what she was wearing. So
there you go.
We'll get to see that. I think, though, outside of that, have we had any other legal news? Now, I did see a little bit about Karen Reed on my Twitter that did her attorneys file to have the civil stuff dismissed?
I have not seen that.
Oh, maybe I made that up. It could have happened.
She does still have the civil case. Now, she has added more attorneys to her civil case. I'm going to tell you, she's got lots of evidence to support her in this. It's not going to be pretty. His family needs to back out because the longer this has gone on, the more intertwined we have seen his family with not great people of Massachusetts. So that's not looking great. But yeah, a lot going on. Now, I know her defense attorney for the criminal trial, Alan Jackson, did submit a letter or something to the district attorney in Norfolk County or Suffolk County, one of those, to list that Officer Dever onto the Brady list. I'm gonna tell you,
and Devers has been rehomed, right? Like
everyone that was anyone on this case in the police force has been rehomed or fired.
Which means they've been sent to another.
They've been given desk duty. They've gone to a different precinct in a different area, or they've just been.
I think that says a lot too about what the actual. I mean, this whole thing. I'm just like, y'all, come on. But I will say, Alan Jackson, not way down yonder on the Chattahoochee. Have to say it every time. He's kind of become this generation's, through this trial, in my opinion, he's become this generation's like Robert Shapiro. He got OJ off. Now, granted, different situations here, but because I do believe Karen Reed was innocent, and I don't know about OJ, but I've seen he's already out in California now with some big case out there where
he's already he's doing his cases, but I'd venture to guess that they're not done in the Boston area.
But I will ask you, this is a surprise question, but I don't think you're going to be, no anxiety with this one.
Okay.
We're clearly getting a movie. We know that.
100%, yep.
Who are we thinking? Who's going to play Karen Reed?
Oh, that's a great question. I think Hilary Swank could pull it off.
Oh, I have forgotten about Hilary Swank in general.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
she could do that.
Okay. I had thought I'd kind of gone around the. She'd have to change her hair color, but I was thinking Connie Britton.
Who?
Connie Britton.
She could pull it off.
I've seen some people were saying Jennifer Aniston.
I don't.
Jennifer Aniston, God, I love her, but she brings a like.
There's a
She
different vibe.
unfortunately will always be Rachel from Friends. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And it's like I can't get past that. I've seen some people say Sandra Bullock if she lightened her hair.
She could pull that off too.
Yeah. Either way, we'll be front row and
Yeah.
center for that.
It'll just be real interesting to see what's released in it, just because we know that their defense has so much that the ridiculous judge would not allow in.
Yeah, that person, I can't even imagine how they still have a job, but
No,
things
no.
happen.
But yeah,
Um, but I think that is all we have in our legalese section.
yes.
In Taylor Talk, we did not get an appearance this week. There was a lot of rumors, and honestly, I believed that she was going to show up at the American Century Golf Tournament that Travis was playing in.
Yeah.
She was not in Tahoe, at least visibly. So that happened. Now, the onslaught of rumors for TS12 are amok
Oh, good.
on all the social medias. Again, I was not on TikTok for the whole week, so I'm not even up to speed. But I do know there is a guy, and his handle on Twitter just now escaped me. We've talked about him before, though, and I've said before he's got to somehow be in their camp because he's never been wrong about anything, and he shot down so many things that I was so confident in, and yeah, he was right. He has kind of insinuated a lot in the past week on Twitter that in July, end of July, early August, that she's going to be shooting some visuals and videos in New York, LA, and London.
Okay.
That's all he has said. People have taken that and run with it to think that it's all TS12 related. We don't know. I will say last week Taylor Nation released a Speak Now anniversary collection. People were very amiss about this because it was not on the actual date, which was a very unlike. We all know Taylor's big on numbers,
Right.
and especially anniversary numbers. For some reason, it was several days after the actual anniversary, and so people were like, "What? We don't know."
Interesting.
Yeah, so that happened. It was again just merch that we wouldn't purchase, things that I wouldn't wear. We don't know. There's really not a lot going on. Travis does report to training camp in a week,
Yeah.
like literally 7 days from today.
Oh man.
And I got our tickets. We're going to go twice again. We're going to go quarterback, running back day for autographs, and then, of course, tight end receiver day.
That is going to be so fun.
So we'll have our full report as usual. I do think there's a chance she'll make an appearance at training camp. It will, of course,
Yeah.
never be the day that I'm there. That just won't
Yeah.
happen.
I think we're going to get a lot more of her at football this year just because we don't know if it's his last year. He hasn't decided that. He won't decide that until after the season next year. But I think with her not being on tour or have anything massive going on and him being in his 13th year, I think that she's going to try and be there for as much as she can.
Well, and the statements that have come out, as we've said before, when things come out in People, Us Weekly, there's a few publications, and the verbiage we always know when it's Tree Payne, our queen.
Yep.
She's been very blunt that this year she plans to be very focused on his career and being there to support that. I take that also, though, to be telling that this is the end. Becca does not want to talk about that yet. She has said that we're not allowed to until March. So.
That's right.
But Travis and Jason did play in the American Century Golf Tournament this year. And you know what I thought about?
What?
I remember last year when we were recording, I got on my phone to see what a hotel would cost to be there while it was happening, and it was super affordable.
Uh-huh.
I'm so mad I didn't do it.
Listen,
I had to go to St. Lucia instead.
life is hard with choices we have to make.
I mean, maybe next year. But they were there. Again, Travis with the hair, but I will say he looked good this week. I mean, he had the hat on, so that helped.
His golf outfits have been much better lately.
Yeah, and
because
he is thinning out, y'all. Like,
he is thin.
I saw some comparisons to his pictures last year at the tournament and this year.
Yeah,
Belly wise, dude is thin.
he's thin, but that hair is god awful.
It's got to go. But I will say, I did notice, and a lot of people commented, the beard is what it normally is, but the mustache is real thick right now. So we are so close to the Travador coming back, and we're just
Right.
praying the hair's going. I did see he only placed 83rd, and Jason placed 86th. Y'all, that's out of 90 people.
Right.
I want to say that Travis, that's last year. I want to say he was like 37.
I was gonna say he did much better last year.
So I don't really know what
But
happened. Fell apart.
yeah.
But Ed was there. Kelsey, cutest can be in his Hawaiian shirt. Travis and Jason did some karaoke. And I thought it was funny. One of the reporters said, "Does Taylor give y'all tips?" To Jason, and Jason was like, "Yeah, she does.
He tries.
She's helped a little." So
You
that
can only
happened.
go so far when you've been drinking all day.
Yeah.
I don't. Taylor
Well,
can't.
people are always amazed too that both of them have like, especially they just always make comments like, "Oh my gosh, they can actually sing." Like, have y'all not like listened to the
Yeah,
Christmas
it's
song?
not
They
like
can sing.
embarrassing.
Yeah. So that happened this week. We would love. That's on our bucket. That's definitely on my bucket list of things I would love to attend.
That would be fun.
And then Wimbledon. I was thinking about this. Wimbledon happened this past week.
I would love to go one year.
I think I do too. I think it's on my list now. It was so good to see Catherine there, finally, Princess Catherine at the finals. Seems like she's really turning the corner. I think she's obviously still gets pretty worn down pretty quick because then she'll have to miss a few things. But it was so good to finally see her back out there handing over the trophies and looking as stunning as always. Oh, met a family from London at St. Lucia in the Lazy River. Turns out he works in IT in Buckingham Palace. And so
I
I
want
was
to tell you, that's not a job I thought was in Buckingham Palace.
well, so I had so many questions, and he
I'm
was so
sure.
gracious. I was like, I've got to know how the interview process went. I would guess he was probably early to mid 50s. And he was like, well, it was a really interesting thing. He's like, you kind of show up to the gate, and you're like, hey, I'm here for an interview, and you go through pretty much. He said what's like airport screening to get in, and then he said like they take you underground through all these tunnels. And all the offices are underground.
Yeah.
And so he said, but the interview questions were interesting. And I was like, oh, do tell. So he got this job during when Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip were still alive.
Okay.
And so he said, and he got to meet them at one point. But he said, like, one of the interview questions was, okay, so this office that he sits in, right, can never be unmanned. I don't know why, but it can't. And he said, so what if someone comes in here, you're the only one in here, and they tell you that Prince Philip needs help with his email? What do you do? And I was like, and he just stopped, and I was like, what do you do?
You do.
He said, well, I just told them I would lock the door and go help him. Okay. So I guess that was the right answer because he got the job. But he said he also has some kind of medical background. And so he worked some event with like the medical team. And so he got to meet them both and was talking about how gracious they were. And he said that Prince Philip was like something about, was it a busy day, fellas, or something like that? And they were like, no, sir, it's been, fine. Or no, your highness, it's been fine. And he goes, oh, well, do you want me to go push somebody over to make it exciting? So he sounded just like you would have thought. Of course, I had all the questions. It was his sister, around the same age, his wife. And so I had all the questions. I was like, in the U.S.
Cool job.
Yeah. I said in the U.S., we all still love Princess Diana, so we feel weird about Camilla. I was like, do y'all call her queen? And they were like, no.
Oh.
And I said, well, in the U.S., we kind of have some vibes against Prince Charles, even though he and Diana were both at fault. And they were like, no, they love Charles. And so I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And his sister said, now that Meghan Markle. And I was like, oh, here we go. But yeah, she was same sentiment we all have. They just her.
Did you let her know that on behalf of all Americans,
Yes, I told her, I said, ma'am, let me just let you know that in the U.S., we were a little starstruck at first, and then we were out. And we've been out. And we all talked about how they feel that, like, honestly, they disdain her, but they also just, it's like she said they grieve Harry
Yeah. It's almost
because
like
they
I
said
would
like,
imagine they want to save him, bring him back.
yeah, well, they said he was just so a part of so many things behind the scenes. And he was talking about when they were telling me that I should still love Prince Charles, they were like, he does so many things for the people behind the scenes that no one ever knows. And I was like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Um, but they are as obsessed with William and Catherine as we all are. But yeah, we talked at great lengths about how Meghan Markle is just the worst.
Yeah.
They were like, y'all can keep her, and I was like, we don't want her.
No. We'll
No
keep
one
Harry
does.
as long as he gets rid of her.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was really fun to talk to them. But anyway, Wimbledon happened. Our girl Coco,
Didn't do
she,
so hot.
she kind of crapped the bed. So that was sad. But
I was
um,
really rooting for Ben Shelton. I
oh,
think the
I
way he
love
got to the
him.
finals, and that's when he lost after that.
But he lost to the eventual winner, right? Didn't
Yeah.
Skinner end up winning?
Yeah.
I love him, and he's with Trinity Rodman.
They were so
Who,
cute.
yeah, which some people want to introduce Trinity Rodman as the daughter of Dennis Rodman. Well,
Well,
they
she
have,
wasn't having it.
yeah,
She was not having it.
she ain't got no relationship with him, which is what I would imagine. But what she should be introduced as is an Olympic star of the U.S.
Right.
women's soccer team because she in her
Yeah.
own right is phenomenal. But they are so cute together and his family.
Yes.
I thought it was so cute how he said, my sister's here and I haven't lost since she's been here, but she works for Morgan Stanley and she's got to go back. But then it turned out Morgan Stanley gave her the week off because
Yeah.
they needed. Oh, that was awesome. But yeah, I really like him a lot. I love them together.
I think he's one of those we're gonna see for a long time.
Yeah. I'm not a tennis person. Like, I don't play tennis. I don't have a
No.
desire to. I don't watch
If you
it.
start watching a match, it is enjoyable.
Yeah, I don't watch it unless it's Wimbledon or
Yeah.
unless it's like I've watched, when Serena and Venus were big, I would catch things that they were on.
Yep.
Aaron was convinced he saw Serena Williams in the airport, and I was like, she's shorter than I am, and Serena's definitely taller. That's not her. But yeah, so Wimbledon happened. A lot of celebrities there, as always.
Yep.
I just have to say, and this is throwing a little shade. I feel like throwing a little shade today.
Okay.
Joel Alwyn, like, come on, bro. Like, you didn't want to be seen anywhere when you were with Taylor. You kept her undercover for years upon years. That she's now had to write songs about what you did to her to keep her in the secrecy. And now you're everywhere. You show up at every match at Wimbledon, bro. Like, come on.
I just talk about little man syndrome when
Something. Yeah.
like you just can't handle sharing the spotlight. But like, who are you?
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah, like, okay. You've been in some movies with people who were famous. I mean, that's like, I saw some famous people. I'm not famous.
I still could not name you one thing he's ever done.
All I can tell you is he was just in that movie with Emma Stone. I don't even know what the movie was called.
Right. I know he was just in something because he was doing PR for it. I couldn't tell you anything about it.
Yeah, and I just look at him and I'm like, what were we doing? What were we doing?
There's like 15 guys that could take your place. We don't need you.
Yeah.
Fine.
Anyway, it's enough Joe Allen shade. But, so that was Wimbledon. There was some NBA news that I did not include in the notes because I hadn't quite gotten Becca there yet. Okay, guys, I'm working on it.
I'm not. Yeah.
I'm working on it. I think maybe come around. But
If
there's a
there's-
couple things happening. First of all, Coco Jones, who we love,
Yes.
who I think is a very talented singer. She's gorgeous. She is in the new Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I forget. I think they call it something different now. Maybe Bel-Air. I don't know. Anyway, she just got engaged to Donovan Mitchell, who's a really big basketball player. So that was super exciting. They were introduced by Russell Wilson and Sierra.
Couples that look like them, just not fair. It's
No.
just not fair.
It's like, if your baby somehow popped out ugly, I would know what happened in the world. Like,
Yeah.
it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous people. The big news, though, however, right now in the NBA is LeBron James. I know we're all shocked, but
Okay. Now I did see a headline, something about him not talking about the Lakers, but I
Yeah,
didn't
so-
read into it.
y'all know I'm a big lifetime Lakers fan, and the Buss family has owned the Lakers my whole life. Jerry
Yeah.
Buss bought them before I was born, so yeah, my whole life. Jeannie Buss right now has been the president and CEO of the Lakers. If you watch the show, what's it called, Running Point with Kate
Yes.
Hudson, it's very loosely but very closely related to their life. Well, Jeannie has sold. I don't really understand how this works. So she has sold the Buss family stake in the Lakers to Mark Walker or whatever his name is, but she still remains the CEO of the Lakers. So she kept her job, but not
Way
the
to broker
ownership.
a deal.
So I don't really know how that all works out, but this is important because, well, first of all, it's just crazy that that happened. But apparently, the Buss family notified Luka Doncic, which got traded from the Mavericks to the Lakers midseason,
Uh-huh.
that this was happening, but they did not tell LeBron ahead of time, which is very peculiar. And
That is interesting.
LeBron is up where he can, add some more years to his contract, stay another year, whatever. He could leave. He's at a contract negotiation point, and he has been in Ohio pretty much for about a month now, and even training at the Cavaliers facilities.
Oh.
So, this is what I think is going to happen.
Has he played for them before?
Yes,
Okay, that's what I thought.
that's his hometown team. He's played for them. Played for them. He left. He came back. I think this is just my thinkings. I think he's going to sign a 1-year deal with the Cavs and retire as a Cavalier.
That would
Because
make
also, I will say the Cavs came really close to making the finals this year. They lost out to the Knicks.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell's there. He's a really great player too. I don't know. That's just what I think. I either think that or I think he's going to the Mavericks, which would be so weird since
Oh, that would be weird.
Luka went to LA, but Kyrie Irving and he are super, super tight. Kyrie has already announced this is it. This is his last season.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's the talk of the NBA right now.
Okay.
And then the talk of the WNBA is
Ugh.
that Angel Reese is the cover of the WNBA video game.
Now listen, does their cover have the curse like the Madden game does?
Unfortunately not.
Oh, okay.
But I do need to know, please tell me that you saw Caitlin Clark's comment when they asked her about it.
I did not.
She said she thought it was a joke at first.
That Angel was the cover?
Yeah.
Okay. Think
I
it,
was-
maybe don't say that.
I was like, whoop, whoop, whoop. And it was in an interview where you could tell very quickly that the other, you know how when they sit at the table to do interviews, it's like a couple players and a coach and a player? The whole table said, whoop, whipped their heads and looked at her. But she laughed it off real quick.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, that's awesome.
I don't understand. We have so many incredible WNBA players. Why is it
No.
constantly just Caitlin and Angel? Caitlin, I understand. Like, she's great.
Yeah, it's
She's a
Caitlin.
generational talent. But Angel, why is she still in the conversation? Because she keeps entering it herself?
I think Angel, we need to find out who her agent is because they're worth money. Because she does not deserve any of the crap she's getting. And not even just because we don't like her, her stats don't back. Like, if you look at her actual work product, it doesn't back it up.
Nope.
So, I don't know. But that's been going on with the WNBA. What kind of sports news do you have for me?
Well, I just have a little bit of baby news. So we have
I'm
Jordan
sorry?
Spieth.
Oh, yeah, okay. Woo! I was like,
World.
what?
System shut.
Okay, got it.
Jordan Spieth, they just had their second baby.
Yes.
I don't know if it's a nickname or if that's what they
Sully.
named it, but it's Sully.
I'm thinking it's Sullivan, really.
Okay, that would make sense.
I want to say, what was her maiden name?
I can't remember. Was
Annie.
it Sullivan? Are we guessing that?
That's what I was thinking, or it's like maybe his mom's maiden name. Yeah, I'm guessing
If it was, I
Sullivan.
love that.
But what is their other kid's name? Because it seems like a nickname too.
Who even knows?
We should as a pop culture podcast, but we don't. It's something that I was surprised by. I remember thinking,
Jordan Spieth. They have 3 kids?
Yeah, I was going to say this is number 3 because they have a
I thought it was 2.
son, a daughter, and
Sammy,
Sam.
Sophie, and Sully.
Sammy. I thought, well, surely that's really like Samuel.
Maybe. Anyway, so they had the baby. The next one, Christian McCaffrey and Olivia Culpa Had their little baby
And like,
girl.
she was gonna explode.
Girl,
That,
she looked miserable.
that belly got big.
She got so big.
That it's just, I'm sure she was like, this must end soon.
Like your first pregnancy, I feel like you just balloon
Well,
up.
I don't know. I just don't think she's tall because they're pretty even height and he's pretty short.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. But
yeah,
she was just so tiny and petite. So any amount of weight or like the swelling and everything that goes into pregnancy, like it's just going to balloon her up. So
yeah,
she still looks gorgeous.
yeah. I mean,
But if you
yes.
were not on TikTok this last week, then you probably did not see her packing her hospital bag. I'm going to guess.
So I saw the beginnings of it because I would get signal and I would start writing, but then it would like stall out. So I saw the beginning of her saying, "So I'm gonna do my hospital bag." That's all I saw.
Listen, she's gotten a lot of criticism
Oh, I'm
on
sure. Did we bring a
because
whole makeup team with us? Like,
listen, she packed her own duvet and pillows,
stop
uh,
it.
candles, like electric candles to kind of set the mood, a framed photo of their dog. She had like 15 different outfit options, all
What
the
are
things.
we doing?
Here's the thing. As women that have had children, we
Yeah.
know that's
Yeah.
completely unreasonable.
Yeah.
That room is not even going to be big enough to house the amount of, I like 7 suitcases.
Oh,
We know that. But I feel like it's a rite of passage that like you get to pack whatever the heck you want.
I mean, you do.
Our
I
room
assumed
is
she would have a whole
so,
glam squad come.
yeah, it's so unpredictable. You don't have control over anything. If her packing that bag and taking a framed photo of her dog, listen, she probably got there and didn't unpack a single one of those things. That's fine. But it, like she felt she had control over something and that gave her comfort. Let her do it. Let her have her moment. She's gonna realize when she gets home, listen, I didn't need any of that.
Oh yeah, we
I
didn't
didn't
even
need
know
it.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. Yeah, it's just, yeah. I mean, I think I've gotten to the point too, with especially with these celebrities. And I don't. Did you wear makeup while you were in delivery?
I did for my second because it was planned.
Okay. I did not. I've only had one biologically. I did not. But I don't wear it all the time anyway. So
Yeah.
like, it kind of would have been weird if I did. I did like wash my hair and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just the ones I see that like bring in their glam squad, like. I,
That's too
but the other
much.
thing was like I didn't. I mean, our birth didn't go the way like it was supposed to go. I mean, first of all,
Yeah.
it lasted 16 hours, but I also
Same.
like didn't allow photo. Like I was like, that ain't happening.
Yeah.
Like that just wasn't
There's
something I
pictures
wanted.
of me from our first, after I had been in 16 hours of labor, and I'm like, why did anyone think this was the
Mm-mm,
moment to take
yeah,
a photo?
I was totally out on pictures. I honestly do not believe that there is one picture of me actually pregnant. Um, like I just wasn't like that was not my jam. I did not
Yeah.
like. So yeah, there like for me, I was like, why would I wear makeup? Because and I couldn't
Right.
tell you what was in the bag. I ended up having an emergency C-section, but because our hospital was crowded, that I had to be discharged the next day anyway. it was,
Oh
a,
my
it was a
gosh.
whole thing in a small town. I don't. I just remember having like the outfits we wanted him photographed in. I don't
Yeah.
remember anything that was for me.
I remember packing like a comfy pajama set to put
Yeah, I
on.
remember that. And
And I
a
remember
robe.
packing, yeah, a robe and like our clothes to wear home.
And I remember my mom gave me a pair of like they were fake Uggs because it was December.
Yeah.
Um
No, we just didn't.
yeah. And I'm
It
pretty
wasn't a
sure
huge deal.
Aaron wore the same thing like because literally we checked in at like 5 a.m. one day and we were out by 7 a.m. the next day after a C-section, which is
Holy heck.
not what's supposed to happen.
No, I had two
After
C-sections and
16
I was in
hours,
labor for several days.
yeah, after 16 hours of labor and that, they were like, sorry, we don't have any more beds. And we had to
Oh,
leave. Yeah, so, but more power to her. I'm sure that baby's going to be gorgeous. What's the name? Colette?
I think so. It was a very like classical, pretty name,
Yeah.
which I very much expected from them. I would
Yeah.
be interested to know. It looks from the pictures like she had a C-section, There's some where Christian's in like the scrubs with the hat, and the way that she's laying and he is, it looks like they were in an operating room. I would be interested to know how many people were like in the room with them though. I
Yeah.
don't listen, and I don't
We're
know how
both
you feel.
very
Like,
close to their families too, so.
no, yes, no one was allowed in that room besides
Nope.
my husband.
Same.
My mom and dad were like, "Can we just stand outside the door? Like, we just want to hear the first cry." And I was like, "Listen, I don't care what you do outside these doors, but y'all can't be in here."
No.
And then people have like their glam squads, what you were saying. I didn't know how I was going to feel. I didn't want to react to something or be frustrated by something. And then somebody,
Yeah.
my mom or his mom sitting there saying, "Oh, well, you don't need this. Da-da." You
No,
let me
yeah.
handle this how I'm going to handle. I got to get a human from inside my body to the outside. I get to do and say whatever I want.
Yeah,
So,
it was a beef with my mom until the day she died with Aaron that because Judd was finally got like even our C-section kind of got dramatic. And so he finally got out at like 11 p.m. that night. Um, and it was sort of a dramatic situation. And so anyway, but they still let Aaron like carry him to the like the
the
NICU
nursery.
thing or whatever. Um, so my mom didn't get to hold him because
Yeah.
Aaron like would not let go. And so it was like beef with my mom until the day she died that like she always would bring it up. Well, I didn't get to hold him until he was already a day old. I was like, hey, me either. So,
Same.
because yeah, I didn't get out of recovery until about 30 minutes before they discharged us. So, yeah,
Wild.
yeah, it was insane. But
Crazy.
oh yeah, congratulations to them. I'm sure that baby's gonna be gorgeous.
I'm sure. I'm sure. So, other sports news, we have Ezekiel Elliott. There's been a little bit of talk coming out about him that potentially he might
Yeah,
retire.
you sent me this, and I told you then. I mean, I could
Nobody
see it,
wants him. Yeah.
but I still think there's plenty of teams, guys. I'm telling you, when it comes to running backs, I'd have as many in my roster as I could have.
Yeah, but he proved he can't do anything.
Well, you say that, but like we got a lot of them that can't.
Well, and potentially it could have been they just didn't utilize him in Dallas the way that, who knows? But
Well, he also got really overweight, which I don't know what that's
I
about.
just, I wonder if he's one of those that thinks he could keep his career going based off of his name.
Yeah, but
I
it's
mean,
been a long time
people
since you were something.
like Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, George Kittle, like all of these incredible athletes that have had pretty longevity in the career, and even they continue to work really hard and don't just think they can flow by on their name. And I just wonder if he kind of got in that camp of thinking like, I'm Ezekiel
Yeah.
Elliott, everybody's gonna want me. Turns out,
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I think so. We're about to hit training camp. I know the Chiefs is next week, 22nd. Typically, veterans and rookies don't report the same day. For the Chiefs, a lot of teams do, but the Chiefs are this year, which I'm kind of down with. Whatever. So I think we will. There's still some big names out there. When I say big, I mean we're not talking Patrick Mahomes big kind of names, but there are some still
known names.
those weapons out there that and some holes with some teams. So I think that we'll start to see because also at the end of training camp and mid training camp we'll see people get cut.
Yeah.
And so I do think we'll see some movement with some people, some other players. I'm kind of watching to find out what happens with is Amari Cooper. Still interested to see where he ends up. I still think he's got a little left in the tank. So there's, I don't know. I mean, I did see a thing. I think I sent it to you too while I was gone of like the top, what was it, like 25 running backs in the NFL for this season. People like Pacheco weren't even on it. I think people are really misjudging what they think is going to happen with the Chiefs this season. I've seen a lot of commentators, even Kansas City commentators, saying, "Oh, I don't even think they'll win the West." And I don't know, guys.
Interested to see what they do. I think they're coming back with a different
Yeah,
fire in them this year.
I think I'd be terrified. I'll be honest if I was
Yeah.
against them.
So, but I think the next month and a half-ish, we're going to start seeing a lot of news in the NFL because training camps start within the next week for all the teams. And then August 27th is the deadline to cut down to your 53-man roster.
Yeah. Be interesting to see too what the Bengals end up doing with Trey Hendrickson. They still have not come to a deal, and it sounded like they were actually further apart than they even thought. And
Yeah,
so,
that sounds like a messy relationship. I think we got to.
yeah, I'm kind of worried about that one though because God, and I still don't understand how they pay for it. But every year when these people are open, they say they may go to the Eagles, and I'm like, how? How?
It's got to be how they
I
do
was
their.
talking to an Eagles fan on vacation, though. There were a lot of you people out there, by the way. But he was telling me, and I thought he was lying, but I looked it up. It was true that the Eagles' defense is the lowest paid defense in the NFL now. But they traded a lot of pieces,
They did.
so
They
there's
did.
money. In other news, Indonica Sue retired.
Oh yeah, I love him
Which
and his wife.
Yeah, so he retired, and he actually I thought it was sweet, sad. He did it on 1 year anniversary of his dad's passing, and talked all about how his dad was like what led him into football and everything. But I don't know, the NFL's changing. It's like
It is.
a lot of the names that we're used to, like even if Ezekiel does retire, just names we're used to seeing, we're not going to see anymore.
Yep. Yep.
So I don't know, we'll see. All right, you ready to answer some questions?
Let's do it.
Okay, well, let's talk about football. We'll start at the bottom of the list. Cheryl said, I need a prep course. My husband is already talking NFL. What should I be paying attention to right now? I didn't realize the time was now. I thought I had until September.
That's fair.
That's a valid thought to have. So,
I love this question. I love that he's talking about it, and you're like, okay, I'm going to learn about it.
yeah. And I think, one of the things, Taylor Swift obviously came up several times on our trip. I didn't bring her up. But she came up a lot of times, especially when people find out we were Chiefs fans, and a lot of different women would engage in the conversation and be like, oh my gosh, yeah, I used to never watch it. Now I like this one player from this one team. Like,
I love that so
I thought it was
much.
really cool. And so,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what led Cheryl. I would think that maybe just because she found our podcast, maybe that plays into it. But I think really, these are the tips I had right now.
Okay.
Right now, I don't know if this makes sense, but I would say take everything with a grain of salt.
Yes.
Because there's going to be now you're going to have your core team, right? Your core players like Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce. They're going to be with the Chiefs. We don't have to.
Right.
That's not even a consideration. But other players that are kind of on that cusp that are not like the central players of each team, take it as a grain of salt until we do get to August because a lot happens. A lot of people get cut during training camp. A lot of people you wouldn't expect to. A lot of
There's a
people
lot of
show
team
up
flipping.
way out of shape.
Yeah.
Don't pass their physicals. People will show up mysteriously. They have an injury that they didn't tell anyone about. Things like that happen. So take some of that as a grain of salt. Training camp does begin next week. Keep an eye on it because unfortunately, and knock on every piece of wood you can find, injuries happen every year at training camp, and there's usually at least one or two that are big names, and it's usually a season-ending thing. It's the bad part about it. So keep an eye on that. And then I would just also say start looking at the schedule, and that's how you can kind of have this conversation with your husband. Because you can talk about things like, well, the Chiefs are not playing, I don't know, let's just say the Chiefs aren't playing the Lions, who are another really great team, until later in the season. Mm-hmm. So as long as nobody gets hurt until then, things like that, kind of talking about the schedule is one way to do it, because a lot of teams, especially teams that play in the heat, if they are playing a team from the north that's not used to the heat at the beginning of the season when it's still hot, those sorts of conversations, you can kind of start a conversation where you don't really have to have a lot of details.
No, just get them talking about it.
Yeah, but you already kind of sound like you do. You're like, oh, the Packers are playing the Dolphins in week 2. That's not true, but they are. That's going to be some heat that the Packers aren't used to. Don't feel like you got to come in and know it all. And also, I think my last tip is, I find this with my husband in other subjects. We're kind of reverse in our family. I'm the football head more than him. Let him feel like the expert. Ask him the questions.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing. Whatever team he's into, just go study that roster.
Yep.
Get some stats, go look up stories from the past, find out about their personal lives because you want to make it something you're interested in too. And so if you did find us because of like Taylor Swift, for instance, we'll find out like, oh, Matt Stafford's wife has this podcast. She's a nut job. You know, like do something like that.
Yeah. No, that's good. I had said, find out what your husband's favorite team is and make sure that you know like the major headlines and the major players.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right. Find that personal connection because as girls, like we want to know the stories behind this.
And trust me, they get interested too.
Their stories.
Yeah, they'll act like, oh, whatever. But let me tell you, my husband asks me about it all the time. So
Yeah. No, like some of the teams have new head coaches. Like if you just at least kind of know that to throw into conversations, be up on your hatred of Aaron Rodgers, then you can join everyone's conversation.
now, Cheryl, if your husband is a fan of Aaron Rodgers, let us know. We can connect you with divorce attorneys that we can Google because
Right,
you
we
have
get a
made a wrong
therapist,
choice. You have made a wrong choice, ma'am.
whatever you need. Yeah. I also put on here, learn about fantasy football. If your husband does fantasy
Yes.
football, for me, that's one of those because I have like my favorite players that I watch or maybe like favorite teams, but I can't learn everything about every person. But when you play fantasy football and you kind of have your own roster of these random people that maybe is not somebody you watch, but you know they're good, that's such an easy way for you to like every week be engaged in what games are going on. So I think that's really helpful. And then also if you're on TikTok or anything, Annie, is it Agar?
Yeah.
She breaks down a lot of things in a hilarious way,
Yep.
but then it makes sense and you're catching up on all the big headlines and know the big things to, that are funny or weird about certain teams. So I think those are great areas to look at, but I'm excited for you to get into NFL this year.
Yeah, and stay tuned because you listen, we'll give you all the info you need. The other thing I would say is listen to the Calm Down podcast with Aaron Andrews and Carissa Thompson.
Yes.
They both, sounds like, are signing very good contracts with Fox again this year. They do a great job of talking about their jobs in football and life, so you're not just going to be bored.
Yes.
But then also, I would say, little cheat code here. Find out his favorite team or favorite players or whatever. Go to your Google, set up alerts. You'll get the sense to you, and you can be like, "Oh, hey, I heard today that so and so this happened to."
Yep.
Cheat code right there. I do that about things with Marvel. My husband's very into Marvel and technology, so I'm constantly saying stuff I know nothing about. I seem very.
There you go. There you go.
But welcome, Cheryl. It's a fun thing to get involved in.
It really is.
And hey, we always love another one of us. Okay. Let's just go from the bottom up. Lila asks, tell us your top 3 guests you want to have on the podcast and what why questions you want to ask them. You can't include Taylor. We have had this before. Our answers have changed. I believe our answers have changed a lot since the last time we've answered it.
Probably.
At least one person I can think of that we won't necessarily say, but
Yeah.
and I don't know that we ever said what why question, which is
No, that was a new one, so I liked that.
what that's fitting since it says why factor. So who are your 3? And obviously she says you can't include Taylor because everyone knows that's not
include Taylor.
Okay,
So the first one I did was Pat McAfee. I love him so much.
Yeah.
Not only like he just brings football into a newer generation and speaks on it without like, there's too many old guys that it's time to retire. So I would absolutely love to have him. I would ask, why do you think that you're misunderstood by the larger media? And also, why do you think the normal sports media is so afraid of your authenticity? Because I'm always shocked.
Yeah, that's a good
that
point.
It seems like these big execs don't like him and try and constantly like undermine him, which is wild to me because you're bringing in such a huge audience and everything you do seems to turn to gold. So why wouldn't they back you and like join in? So I would be interested to know the inner workings of the business side because he seems to be extremely intelligent when it comes to that. So I would do him. Couldn't do Taylor, but we can do Tree Payne.
Can't stop us.
So I would ask her, why do you think certain public figures manage to survive controversies while others don't? I do feel like Taylor has obviously had her fair share and always comes out on top.
Yeah.
So I'd be interested to know that. Why do you think Taylor Swift's relationship with the public has remained so strong even after her
Yeah.
controversies or anything that's happened to her? Um, and then my last one would be Nick Saban. Come on.
Well, shock of all shocks
Come
there.
on. Yeah. So
What are you going to ask him?
I'm gonna like, why do you think Alabama sustained so much excellence under his leadership while there's so many other programs that even though they have great coaches, they seem to fluctuate so much? Why do you think that you were able to do that? I would be very interested to know. And then I'm always fascinated, why do certain losses stick with you more than wins? Because he's had a decorated career,
Yeah.
but even when you see him on like College Game Day and stuff, he can vividly remember details about a random game that he lost that eats at him so much more than a championship that he won. So I'm always fascinated to know the workings of why that sticks with you more. So that's right.
I like that.
Yeah.
So I actually went with Erin Andrews as one of mine. We love Erin and Carissa both, but I went with Erin probably because I feel like I have known of her more and longer than Carissa. I think I really got introduced to Carissa more through Erin. If you're not familiar, she is a sportscaster with Fox Sports, and they have the Calm Down podcast. She's been around a long time. She's gorgeous. She seems so nice. All these things. But what I would ask her is like, why the sports route? You know, like why with her broadcasting career did she go the sports? Was she always like a sports head, and so she like wanted to get into sports, or was it, you know, she found normal nightly news boring? You know, like kind of what? Because I mean,
This blame has really worked for her.
Yeah, I mean, she made the right choice. But, you know, stereotypical comment would be it's a very male-dominated industry in the commentating area. And people like Erin and Carissa and Holly Rowe have really had to fight for money, first of all, jobs. A lot of times when these networks go through cutbacks like ESPN, it's the women that go first, like Samantha Ponder. And it's not always, honestly, Samantha Ponder, when she got fired, there was about 12 men I could have told you that were worse.
Easily.
So, you know, like why endeavor into kind of hostile waters, I think is what I would call it. Next up, I went Selena Gomez. There's a lot of stuff I would love to ask Selena about, but I think I would just ask why. It's sort of why, like, no. We like Benny now. Remember? We started out off, but now we're in. No, I think what I would ask Selena is, like, why on her timing of things. You know, this is a career that has spanned decades now.
Yeah.
You know, from as a young child to now, like a grown adult in her mid-30s early 30s, right?
I think early 30s.
Yeah, but it's like spans all different, you know, industries. You know, there's times when she's like putting out a lot of music, and then there's times she says she's not going to put any music out. There's times where she's focused on the brand or an initiative or acting, you know, like, I guess why, when she makes jumps, why?
Yeah.
And also, I think I would kind of want to know, like, why did you ever make any jump? You could have stayed in just the music lane or just the acting lane.
Yeah.
And you'd have been golden, you know, like it just,
That would be interesting to know what made you venture into these different business opportunities or different avenues.
Yeah, I just think it would be, I think she would be a fascinating interview on so many levels. I think there's a lot of things on the personal side. I mean, yeah, why? What made you just suddenly flip a switch with somebody you've known for decades with Benny and realize, like, whoa, this is my person?
Yeah.
I think from her own family with her mom, and there's some, you know, stuff there. I just think there'd be a lot of whys. So I had Selena, and then I had Caitlin Olsen. I wanted to get kind of a random.
Love her.
So I do too. I was not a like Sunny in Philadelphia watcher.
No.
Still not. And now there's too many seasons. I can't get caught
We're
up.
too far behind.
I hate to sound like Becca, but I can't get caught up. Yeah, but we fell in love with High Potential.
Yes.
Justin on. I love watching her relationship with her husband, Rob McElhaney.
Uh-huh.
I know that does touch into the Blake and Ryan world right now, and so, you know, that's a little iffy. But I think what I would ask about with Caitlyn, like, why? I guess like, why did your life become what it is? Like,
Yeah.
and also because I wouldn't say she kind of came out of nowhere, but I kind of would say she kind of came out of
It's
nowhere.
like she was always a known name in the background, but it's like
But I
last year,
don't think like I don't know where she's from
I know nothing about her.
exactly, and like
Yeah.
why? Why do
Yeah.
we not? You know, so I think she would be, and I just adore her. I adore watching them on social media. I love seeing what they do for the community and different organizations. Their relationship seems so
So
best
precious.
friend vibe, and it's just,
Yeah.
I love that. So, and I just think she would be a really fun interview.
100%.
So
She would be so much fun to actually hang out with.
this is our open invitation to all six of these folks to
Come
please,
on.
you let us know when, and we'll be there.
Yeah. Oh,
All right, from Samuel. Thoughts on all the new music coming out this summer? Will Bieber give Gaga and Sabrina a run for their money for Pop Album of the Year? So yeah, since we last recorded, Justin Bieber dropped an album called Swag.
yeah.
Have you listened yet?
So I've listened to two of the songs, but I have not listened to the whole album yet.
Yeah, I've listened, but I would need to hear it again. It's good. Um,
Which the crazy thing is, he didn't hint at a new album
no, this
until
was
maybe a
weird.
week before it dropped.
This was really weird, and the way he hinted was just billboards in LA, which is apparently like the thing to do nowadays. But from all the reporting, it sounds like this is a precursor to an album
Yes.
that is coming out later this year that is more of his I'm Back kind of album. So the
Yeah.
songs I've heard, I really enjoyed. I will say, I went through and read a lot of the lyrics, and of course, there's been some articles on the lyrics. There's some interesting stories in these lyrics.
There definitely are. This seems
I
very raw.
It it does, and honestly, as much as we hate Scooter, of course he's already been asked about it because this is Justin's first album without Scooter Braun, and even Scooter said this is the rawest thing I've seen him put out.
Did you see Haley's, was it an Instagram post that everybody believes is throwing shade at Scooter because of him putting out a statement?
Yeah, I
God,
did.
Scooter, leave. No one
Yeah,
wants you. No
yeah.
one wants
I
you.
am definitely not Team Haley ever, but I did
No.
kind of like that.
Yeah.
I do think, just of course, this is just my hypothesis. I do think a lot of the lyrics in there definitely tell a story of kind of the ups and downs of their relationship.
Right.
Which I think they both hinted at with their social media, but I think it also was to say, yeah, we've had a lot of problems, but one of his songs just says, like, I'm not leaving, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what else comes out. I'm going to listen to it a little bit more. It is good. It's funny, though, the day that I saw this question come in, which was yesterday when I landed, I had just read an article talking about, as of right now, they were saying Lady Gaga's album was going to win Pop Album of the Year at the Grammys, but that Sabrina has hers coming out in August, and they thought it would potentially
Yeah.
upset her. I mean, it's possible. We haven't heard it, so we don't know. I think the depending factor here will be what collaborations are on Sabrina's album.
Yeah.
If there is truly a Taylor collaboration that's been rumored, I think that will give her an edge. Again, I think any big name collabs she does is going to give her an edge.
Agreed.
Bieber's collaborations are people that are like Sexy Red and people like that. That's not going to play big with the Grammy voting. So,
No, it's not really going to have any effect on it.
yeah, so I don't see it upsetting it. I'm sure he'll win some awards for something on some show because I mean people are still believers no matter what.
Well, it's his first album in forever.
I think did I read 7 years?
Easily 7 years.
Yeah, so that shocked me. I was like, holy heck.
Yeah. It's been a while.
So yeah,
No, I thought it was really good. I'm real interested to see all the summer music and then what the award season looks like.
yeah.
Even though we don't love how things are
We're
going.
off on it right now, but this could be an interesting year. I do think that this, I mean, we're real close to the deadline for the Grammys. It's August, so
Yep.
I do think this will be the first year that Taylor doesn't have anything new. So
Yeah.
it'll be weird for us, but oh well. Okay, and then from Ava, what are the 3 most underrated T Swift songs, and vice versa? What are the 3 most overrated? I always get nervous with questions like this because
I
people know
know.
me. But go
No.
ahead, Becca. I'll let you go first. Do you want to go underrated or overrated first?
We can do underrated first. You want me to do
Okay.
my three and then you do your three?
Okay.
Okay. So I went underrated. I went Tim McGraw. I feel like she's known for that song because that one kind of came out, but like it truly, to me, that's the song that put her on the map as
Yeah.
an artist at that time. So I feel
Yeah.
like that one's underrated. Paper Rings, that's one of my favorite songs, and I just
I
feel
do
like
love
not
that
enough
song. Yeah.
people like it.
Yeah.
So I did that one. And then um, I Think He Knows on Lover. I feel like it kind of gets buried in the other Lover songs. Um, and it's very rhythmically clever. And I
Mhm.
just don't feel like it's ever gotten quite as much hype as maybe something like the other ones are. But she had a ton of great songs on Lover. So
Yeah.
potentially,
Which we didn't realize. Remember until we were like,
right.
oh, wait, all of our favorite songs are
Yeah.
sung on
So
Lover.
those are the three I went with for underrated.
So my first one I went with on underrated was Clean. It's my favorite song of all time, but
Yep.
I think it goes underrated because I think a lot of people. I think the best thing about Taylor's music is, and one of the reasons she doesn't exactly tell you why she wrote certain things, is because she wants it to be for you, whatever it is. But I
Yep.
think a lot of people take that one or two ways. I think a lot of people, for some reason, take it about addiction, which is weird because that's never been a part of like the Taylor world.
Yeah.
And then people take it to mean like I'm clean of like an ex. For me, it has nothing to do with either one, and so I think it's underrated because there's a large percentage of people who can't relate to either one of those situations, and
True.
so they just kind of skip over it. Um, Whereas I think if you take it to mean any situation in your own life, like it's totally different.
Yep.
Um,
I
so I
would agree
see
with
that
that.
one. And then I also went New Year's Day, which again is one of my favorite songs. But I think that that one goes underrated because I don't know. I don't know if it's because like New Year's Day is a little cliche.
It's possible.
Like I know there are still people out there that are real big on like, oh, I want to have the biggest New Year's Eve plans ever, but let's just stay home and not deal with crowds
Yeah.
kind of thing. But like for us, like that's my husband and I, that and Daylight are our songs, and it has nothing to do with New Year's Day. We have no significant memories of New Year's Day at all.
Yeah.
But it's more just that like with the turn of any year, day, situation, circumstance, like we're still gonna be the one there picking up the pieces.
Yeah.
So I think it was underrated. And then Evermore.
Mm.
And I'll be honest, for me, Evermore was one that went underrated for a long time just because, I don't know, I just, when it came to the collaborations with Justin Vernon, I think Exile kind of got all the glory.
That is true.
But when she did Evermore on the Eras Tour during the surprise songs, and did it by herself, a cappella with piano, holy hell. That is like, I'm praying to God that gets put out. Like, because it is literally one of the most moving things I've ever heard.
Yeah.
So I think for that one it just got overshadowed because Exile was so big.
Yep.
All right, what are your three most overrated?
Okay, so this, I mean, it's spicy to even ask for an overrated.
Oh, I'm scared. I don't even know what you're gonna do. Okay.
Ugh. Listen, we'll go down the list. So the first one I did was Me off of Lover.
Okay.
It was like the lead single off of
Yeah.
that.
Big ordeal. Yeah.
But given what she does lyrically, I felt it was one of her weaker songs compared to the lyrics that she gives us and everything else. So it just felt a little bit like forced and cheery to me. So, but again, guys, we're throwing this out there.
Yeah.
We love everything she
Love
does.
it. It's great. Yeah.
So the other one, 22, I feel like that one's an
Woo.
overrated.
Woo.
And that one might be a
Spicy of the takes you've had.
I know.
Okay.
I feel like it's fun for like birthdays and that kind of thing, but it just, I don't know. It doesn't seem to fit the more emotional songs that were on that album. So,
Okay.
threw
Okay.
that
That
out.
was spicy, but I've got a really spicy one too, so that's okay.
And then the other one is the All Too Well 10-minute version. Y'all,
Becca. What?
10 minutes of All Too Well. The first one she
The
released.
Swifties are going to annihilate
I
you
know.
in the comments.
I know. The song in itself is a masterpiece in writing. I'm not saying it's a
Okay.
bad song,
Whew.
but we don't need it. The
Oh my
original
God.
one that she released
I'm
is
nervous for you for what
fantastic.
people are going to say. This is going to be it.
Listen, I love the song All Too Well.
Oh,
I
man.
I can't do a 10-minute version of anything. So
Okay.
I just, again, it's good,
Okay.
lyrically phenomenal. It just is a bit overrated for what it is. Because I guess, condensed version of it is
Uh-huh.
so good. You didn't need to expand it.
It's funny, I don't even listen to the condensed version anymore.
Really? You only listen to
If
that
that
with
was time.
10
Yeah.
minutes? Okay.
I got more time on my hands, I guess. I don't know. I don't know, but people are about to eat you alive. Finally, it will
Still
not
a
be
good
me.
song. Still a good song.
It will
Just a
not
little,
be me. I don't
it's a
know.
little
We'll
more hype than I think it needs. Okay, give me your overrated.
see. Should I start with my spiciest?
Let's end on your spiciest.
Okay. Number one, I'm gonna go Cardigan.
Yes.
The reason I say it's overrated is, first of all, confusing to me because I don't know why y'all are listening to it, but it is like the number one song ever streamed by Taylor Swift, and we don't know why.
No.
I
Again, great songs. We just don't
Hey.
get why this is the best
Listen,
one that, yeah.
If I'm gonna hit skip on a Taylor song, it's very rare. But if I'm going to, it's gonna be Cardigan.
Fair.
I don't understand. Listen, y'all do you. I don't know. It's very weird to me though. Second, I went Better Than Revenge. People
Okay.
really love that song. And people were very upset when she changed the lyrics with the Taylor's version. I just wasn't like, I wasn't a Swiftie during the Joe Jonas time, and
Okay.
so I have no connection to it, and I don't have a personal, like, in my life situation that I connect with it.
Yeah.
I just, to me it is one of the only songs that I can think of hers that to me don't really even sound like her.
That's fair. It is different from her normal.
And so my third, I think you think I'm going to say Antihero.
When I was putting my notes together, I was like, freaking Mandy. I know she's going to pick Antihero.
Oh, I'm about to blow your world up.
What are you going to pick?
I'm only feeling safe to say this because you just said that about 22, but I'm going to say Dress.
Oh, that is
And
a
then-
little spicy.
I know this is spicy, and my apologies, Swifties. And I'll be honest, I have had my times in life where I've enjoyed the song too, but there's a couple of problems with it. Number one, it has been the lore of one of the lores that I am so sick of hearing about.
That's fair.
And it has ruined the song for me in one way. Second of all, it just to me doesn't fit the Taylor catalog. Like it just doesn't. I don't know. I don't know. And I watched the Reputation tour. That's actually what I watch when I fly. I have it downloaded on YouTube, and that's what I do. And that rendition of watching her flip that dress around, I don't know. I just don't like it. It seems so un-Taylor-like to me.
Yeah.
And people are so obsessed with that song. But I think they're so obsessed with it because of the lore around who the dress was for and what it's really about that it's ruined it for me.
That's fair.
So I definitely think at the end of the day, the Becca was the hottest take here. So y'all come for
Listen,
her.
I feel like I was very respectful in how I answered the hot takes. I don't think anyone should come for us.
Listen, I just thought that the whole audience would be surprised I didn't pick Antihero.
Shocked. I really thought that was going to make your list.
It's my
Honestly, I thought you were going to do that song and be like, this is it.
No, yeah.
It's just this.
No, it was one of my honorable mentions. The other one I had was Willow.
That's fair.
I don't really get it. And in fact, I saw an interview when I was on the plane yesterday. I don't even know how this interview popped up on my YouTube, but it was with her, and she was explaining why she wrote Willow, that she just like thought it was fun, whimsical, and witchy and all this. And I was like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
Not for me.
Anyway, are you ready for some Y Factor?
Let's do some Y Factor.
All right. What are you not liking? I got to pull mine up.
What I'm not liking this week is the Mars Candy Company as a whole.
Oh dear. Okay.
I don't know if you remember, back in the day, they used to make a candy. It was Starburst Fruit Twists. So it was like Starburst, almost like a licorice type thing. It was discontinued in 2001. And Mandy, I'm going to tell you, since
24 years later.
2001, I have thought about this candy at least once a week. At least.
What in the world? I've never even heard of it. 24 years later?
Loved it. It was my favorite.
Huh.
I have sent them an email a couple times a year since 2001
What is happening?
to bring this candy back. And it got discontinued because apparently it wasn't like their biggest seller, which is
Okay.
wild. So the other week I sent another
Oh,
email to the company.
do they ever reply?
They do. They always reply to me, which is very kind of them because they're probably like, this poor lady. But I
Yeah.
just thought, I was like, listen, we are at a time right now where retro is a big thing. Everybody's doing a retro launch of something that they previously. Now is the time, guys. We have our own money to spend. I don't have to go ask my parents if I can pick it up when we're going to Blockbuster to get our movies. Like, I can buy this myself.
I don't remember
And I
that.
always just get a kind response back of thank you so much for your input. Unfortunately, that wasn't one of our better selling candies. So at this time, there is no plan to bring it back. And then they just end it. And I'm so mad about it. I'm so, 24 years.
24
Listen,
years, yeah. I feel that way about the chicken, egg, and cheese bagel at breakfast at Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
I loved that thing, and I
That was
swear people were always eating it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even remember that candy.
Yeah. So that's just been on my heart the last week because I just got their response.
Yeah, it feels 24 years later. Yeah.
Yeah, still sad about it.
Next time you do it, can you please include your address and ask them if they can to help your wounds, if they'll just send you a care package and just
Listen.
send you something?
Right? 24 years. I've been
A
asking.
whole bag of just only pink Starburst.
Right, something. Something. Yeah.
That's a good one. Well, I've got two. Did you have another
Okay.
one?
Nope, that was it.
Okay, I have two. One is irresponsible pilots. Okay, listen, we all have a job to do when we're adults,
Yes.
and we know that we have to be in a certain state to do those jobs. And
Yes.
if you come to your job as an airline pilot drunk, you are going to be unable to do your job, sir. And in fact, you're now endangering roughly, I don't know, 100 and- what, like maybe 180 people,
Yeah.
give or take.
We don't condone this.
I just really need you not to, and you're like kind of screwing up everyone's lives. Not only could you kill us, if you don't end up killing us, you still messed up our lives. So that I'm just kind of like, maybe let's not. I also think probably the airlines should do something like, maybe should we sequester them in a closed-in area where they can't go to
Right.
a resort on their night off? I don't know. I'm just saying something. And then I had a bit of a troll situation while I was on vacation.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. So, I posted some pictures. I honestly was so disconnected from my phone last week. It was amazing.
You
Partially
were, and I
because I
loved it
couldn't get
for you.
internet. If I could have, I probably wouldn't have been disconnected. But, and we all kind of did our own thing. So I didn't have a lot of good, photo op opportunities. And we didn't, get dressed up to go to dinner. We, would go in our bathing suits. So it just wasn't, I don't know. I thought I got some good pictures, but we went on a little tour and got in a waterfall after a mud bath in a volcano, which is not something you say every day. And our little tour guide, Joseph, amazing, took some pictures for us. And I was wearing a pink bathing suit I got off Amazon.
It was cute.
Actually, let me tell you, $11 on Amazon.
Really?
I got it in 3 colors, and it's
It looks
fantastic.
like a cup sheet type quality. Like, it looks
was-
nicer.
Really good quality, and I'll be honest, it had some sucking ability to it. It didn't even offer that. It didn't say it was Amazon. It was a great purchase. I had a pink one and a black one. In these pictures, I happen to be wearing a pink one. I don't know if it was the fact that the bathing suit was pink. I don't know if it's the fact that this person has just hated me for 12 years now. I don't know, but it's funny to me. People need to realize when you're on the internet, anything's traceable. Okay?
100%.
And when you're a little too obvious, we're gonna know who you are, okay?
Uh-huh.
You could have been very inconspicuous and just sent me a message just with some name that I wouldn't have known and said made some terrible comments about how I looked in my pink swimming suit with my family, and I would have never known who you were. But I did know because you were really obvious in some of the stuff you said, even though you changed your name in your thing, which I was just like, even the
Oh my
name that you
gosh.
changed it to. And I know you listened to this podcast because of something else you said in the comments.
Ugh.
That I just like, okay, here's the thing. This person, and I'm not going to call her out because she doesn't deserve any notoriety, but
No.
her whole social media presence is about embracing the fact that she's a bigger girl. And she constantly posts pictures of her in all these different outfits. Like, she wears a two-piece, okay? And she's a bigger girl. But every summer she puts up a same post. And honestly, over the years, we stopped being friends about 12 years ago. And it was kind of an ugly situation. Fault on both sides. But every summer I thought, more props to her. Because I have, in fact, I said to Aaron, I don't believe I've ever worn a bikini in my whole life.
Yeah.
He told me he didn't understand them because it's always up their butt crack. But I was like, I just know that's not my body, right?
Yeah.
But every summer she puts up a picture right at the beginning of summer wearing a bikini, and she puts out like this PSA to women. But wear what makes you feel comfortable, whatever. And I for years thought, well, props to her. We're not friends on there, but it always comes across my feed. And so I've always thought, hey, you do you. So I thought it was even funnier that you came for me for wearing a one-piece pink bathing suit. And I just thought it was about weight and looking, a lot of terms I'm not going to use, but I just thought it was so weird. But I think there's so much of this. I think a lot of this happens in Hollywood too. These people get on a soapbox to make themselves seem like these big advocates for this or that, and and then it really turns out they're really like a jackass,
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I just
jealousy in adults is a whole different monster, and it looks so ugly on them.
like I do not get it. Okay, this person, I can't stand this person. I'll be honest. And in 12 years, I've not been able. It wasn't just because this happened. But first of all, I don't think about her ever, unless it comes across my timeline somehow because of algorithms. Because we have so many mutual friends, I don't ever think about her. I certainly would never think about sending her a message.
Right.
And third, I would never create a fake identity to message someone I know.
Wild behavior.
I'm just like, wow, that is a lot to I must really be on your mind. So I apologize, I'm so in your brain, but because I know you listen, because you even listened to our podcast and told me in the message you do. So
oh my gosh.
listen, you know what I did when I got the message? I was pissed. Well, I mean, there was a part of me that was hurt, right? Because I'm human, but I was pissed because I was just like, shut the up. Who are you?
Yeah.
But I said a little prayer for this person because I was like, God, your life must really suck.
I was going to say, they must be so miserable.
And I don't mean that in a jab to you, but I feel sorry for you. So whatever's going on in your life, I'm really, really sorry. I hope that you can find some happiness somewhere.
Girl, you were in St. Lucia living your best life.
I just was like, are you kidding me? And honestly, I was like, it really wasn't that bad of a picture.
No.
Because, first of all, if you're a girl, you know this. It was taken from a distance and at an angle. So
I saw your post about it, and I was hot.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, let me go look at these pictures.
Yeah.
And I went and I was like, well, that's actually a great picture.
Well, see, I thought, there were some other ones he took where I had, a weird face, because I was getting hammered by a waterfall, and so I had a weird face. It wasn't my body, wasn't the reason I didn't post it. It was because my face looked like I was, being crushed in a waterfall. But I thought to myself, I was like, my God, if she saw, a picture of, that wasn't even anything. Whoa, it would have really killed her. So, anyway, I don't know. I just, and hey, I admit I have never, I would say, well, I used to have an anonymous name that I would message Dumois. Now we just message each other as who we are. But, I have never done that. And I can't see myself doing it because I think it's weird. Maybe when I was a kid, if we had had social media,
Yeah.
I probably would have done something stupid. But not as a grown adult. Like,
No,
I'm 42 years old, and she's older than I am.
no, no.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-uh.
So, I don't
Listen,
know.
our bodies have birthed children. We've gained weight and we've lost an insane amount. I'm proud of how we look.
Well, yeah, some of the thoughts that she's never had kids, and I wanted to reply so many things.
I'm
I
sure.
wanted to say, a million things, but I was like, nah, not gonna engage. I'm gonna make a post that I know she's gonna see.
Right.
Um, but yeah, wow.
Wow.
I'm sure you'll send another message on some other fake name. I'm still gonna know it's you. Trust me.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, what are you liking?
Okay, so what I'm liking is I know I don't keep up with the NBA, but
You're
we've been in
doing
our
that.
documentary era. And so I did watch, it came out this year, but it might have come out earlier this year on Netflix called Court of Gold.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I watched it this past week. It was so good. It follows the men's um, players, the basketball players for the Olympics that we just had, our Summer Olympics.
Not to make you sound really out of date, but when it first came out, it was my wife factor. But go ahead.
See, okay, when I put it, I was like, I feel like Mandy has talked about
Yeah.
this, but I didn't watch it.
It's
at the time.
fantastic, though,
'Cause I
isn't
was
it?
like, listen, I've got other sports to watch. And
Did it make you love Steph Curry even more than you already did?
even more? It
I adore
actually
him.
made me kind of enjoy LeBron. Don't
Same.
love him, but I
Same.
was like, okay, maybe I don't like dislike you as much as I
Yeah.
thought I disliked you. It was just so interesting, and I loved that they followed multiple countries. It wasn't just the U.S.
Yeah.
And just
It's
seemed
a
like
different experience between the countries.
it was, yes, it was wild. And it was so interesting to see like the US team, like we just kind of pick our NBA players, but a lot of these other countries, like these people play for this country year round. So it was so good. It was so worth it. It was a quick watch. But it was, yeah, it was really good. And again, it's holding us over until we're fully into football
Yeah.
season.
I thought it was really interesting to watch France in that documentary. Obviously, Wemby is a big NBA player now for the Spurs, who's from France. But I thought it was very interesting to see the way they do things because he is a superstar in the NBA. But it almost seemed like with their team over there, he's just like one of the guys,
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's a great one. Well, I have two documentaries too. We are clearly 2025 is definitely the documentary era for us.
Yes.
So I think I told you I watched My Mother Jane, the Mariska
Yes.
Hargitay documentary, and it is so good. We love her in general.
Yep.
The Swiftie like us. She even like in there, she's wearing friendship bracelets, and she even at one point has on an Eras Tour sweatshirt. But it is so fascinating. Obviously, her mother, Jane, was a very famous actress. She was kind of the Marilyn Monroe before. I don't know if she was before Marilyn Monroe or kind of a copycat-esque.
I don't know what their timelines were.
I don't either, but very much that vibe. And she was killed in a car accident that Mariska and two of her siblings were also in. And in fact, Mariska was left at the accident because they didn't even know she was in the car because she was tucked under something. She was raised until she was 25 by her dad, Mickey Hargitay, who was also, he was like Mr. World or whatever you call it. To find out at 25 he's not her real father. It was this man named Nelson, who was like an actor, singer, would do Vegas shows, but he was from Italy. So she ends up meeting him and his family. She has like 3 sisters with them, and she's got 2 brothers and a sister that were Jane's children. So it's a lot of like all their different stories, and it was more basically Jane or Mariska learning about her mother because she died when Mariska was 3, so she has no memory of her mother.
Yeah.
So she was like learning about her mom from her siblings, from Nelson, who was her real father. Mickey has passed away, but his ex-wife helped raise Mariska. So even kind of her take on Jane was interesting.
Yeah.
So it was so moving, and I don't know why all these years I have thought she was single. I don't know why, but she's not. She's married, and she's not married.
3 kids?
Yeah, she's not married to the guy from SVU that I also thought. But this other guy, so moving. She had her mother had this piano, grand piano that she had hand painted with all these angels on it that was in their childhood home, and all these pictures that Mariska has of her and her mom are around this piano. Well, when Jane died, she didn't have a will. And she was not married at the time. She was dating a guy, Sam Brody, who was also killed in the accident. So basically, everything was sold.
Oh, wow.
And because the kids were all young, they kept
Yeah.
only like a few things. So like the piano and all these, like all this stuff was sold. Her husband somehow found the piano.
Wow.
And so he called her one day, told her to meet at the storage unit. She pulls up in like an SUV. She gets out. She's wearing an Eras Tour sweatshirt. He opens the thing, and it's the piano.
Oh my gosh.
And he just is like so taken back, and he's just like kind of like just smiling. And she's like, "Do we own it?" And he's like, "Yes, we do."
Oh
And it
my goodness.
just made me obsessed with him. It's
Yes.
so good. I have no idea about anything about her mother. I've never seen her in anything. She's obviously
Yeah.
very, very old, but I do love Mariska, and it's just a really good one.
It's on my list to watch this week.
And then I have a second one, and I think this is actually a documentary series, and I've only now seen the first one. It's called Trainwreck.
Okay. Can we, for a moment, you know how you just gave me crap about Court of Gold?
Did you tell me about Trainwreck already?
Pretty sure last episode. Pretty sure last
Are
episode.
you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Maybe that's why it was in my. Okay, so this is. It was in my saved queue, and I was like, why would I have saved this?
I think there's 3 or 4 episodes of it.
Okay, well, I have only seen the first one.
Okay.
So it sent me down a rabbit hole, as all documentaries do.
Every
So
time.
Obviously, Becca's apparently already told you about this, about American Apparel. First of all, one thing I have to just note about this. I am blown away at Americans and what we will make famous and rich. Because their
Yes.
clothing is literally t-shirts in
Like
different
Walmart
colors.
Hanes brand.
Literally, just a
Yeah.
whole different color. Yeah, I was like, what in the bless? But this dude is like, works for Kanye. He runs Yeezy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, what are we doing? But it led me to something. It led me to a whole thing I got to thinking about. I texted a couple of people about this business idea I have now. And we've talked about this.
Uh-huh.
Okay, like when you're in the tailor world, right? Everybody signs an NDA. It's
Yes.
obvious. Very obvious. And I think it's potentially like, hi, my name's Taylor. Somebody's just handed you an
Right.
NDA. I think it's pretty much that quick. But she realized she never gets in any shit.
Yep.
This dude got away with a lot
A lot.
because of NDAs. How many celebrities could we help if we offered 2 services, NDA and driving services?
Okay.
That's all we offer.
Yes.
We are on hand with you wherever you go, like a handler, to hand out NDAs that are ironclad,
And then we drive you to and from.
and then we drive you to these things.
Okay.
How many careers could we save? The
Multiple.
University of Georgia alone could keep us busy.
I was about to say, they would 100% fund that company.
I'm just saying, it's crazy to me because I watched this whole thing and I was like, I gotta go look this dude up. He's gotta be in jail. No, this dude's running easy.
Yeah.
Like nothing ever
Everything
happened.
ended up being like civil suits, so he just settled them. Or a lot
because
got
of
tossed.
NDAs,
because of the
because they couldn't do anything about it. And I was just like, what is happening?
wild. Yeah.
Well, apparently 2 weeks in a row. So we really think y'all should watch Trainwreck. I will
Yeah.
be honest. Aaron made fun of me about this documentary because I started it 3 times
Oh
and
my
fell
gosh.
asleep during it all 3 times.
But you got to watch the Poop Cruise next. That's a train wreck one.
Oh, so Trainwreck is a series of documentaries not just about American Apparel.
Correct. No, it's something different every episode.
Oh, okay. Because see, I was thinking the next one was like more to the story, and I was like, my God, there's more.
No.
Okay.
It's different. It's over different topics each time. There's
Well-
one on Astro World, which I have not seen that one. There's the Poop Cruise. There's the American Apparel. And then there's one on something about, I haven't seen it, but it was like a girl that threw a party and the Facebook invite ended up going to thousands or something. I don't know. But it's really good because it's so condensed, but it gets all the information in there. And I don't have to be committed to like multiple episodes.
I was going to say they're well produced to get as much crammed into one.
And
That's
you don't
why I
feel like you're
assumed.
skimping. Like
No,
you
I
get
felt
all
like
the
I knew everything that happened, but that's also why I thought, well, surely there's more because could that have been the whole story? But I guess it was.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Well, that explains why it's in my queue because I got it on there and I was like, why would I have wanted to watch that? That doesn't even sound. That's
Yeah.
because you said to.
That's good.
But yeah, that was it. That's all I had.
Well, yeah.
Well, that was episode 76. Next week, who knows?
Who knows what's going down?
I know. With really right now, with training camp about to start, there's a lot of Hollywood stuff amok, legal stuff. There's just no telling.
Yep. Yep.
We'll be back, and thanks for listening.
All
Talk
right.
to you all
Bye,
soon.
y'all.
Bye.